Hey everyone, Mommy Needs a Minute number 6. We're almost into 6 weeks of starting my YouTube channel. And so, as we're still all stuck on quarantine and there's nothing else better to do than to scroll through your phone or the internet or heck pick up a label on a box in your pantry and search through to try to find some interesting things to actually keep your sanity rather than having to struggle with the idea that you're confined against four walls. So I went on a hunt because I figured it was the best thing I could do. So I went on a hunt for 20 plus of the most weirdest facts that I could find about fruit, vegetables, and food in general. So I've come up with exactly 23, so 20 plus, like the video title says. Then I have a unique one that's specifically based on something that I've known for a while. I don't know if any of you will, but you can leave a comment and let me know if you've known about that one. So the first one that I'm going to actually make a post about or make a comment about story is I'm not sure if you guys are aware if bananas are actually a berry. And strawberries and raspberries are actually not classified as berries. It might be strawberry or raspberry, but they're not actually berries. Mind blown. But a banana is. So some of the other ones that I'll bring up as well, as I have written down here, is that something of an interesting nature is that there's a gentleman by the name of Sylvester Graham who actually invented graham crackers because he thought that they would help quell sexual desires because apparently whole wheat will help you with abstinence. Flaming Cheetos, the flavor of Flaming Cheetos, so this is tip number 3, was actually invented by a janitor. And when he brought this idea to the president at the time of the Cheetos Corporation, he is now the vice president. So he went from a janitor to being at the top. So it really shows that you can go from the bottom to the top. You just have to have the perseverance for it. The government actually banned sliced bread for a few months because they felt that was the best thing to do in that era of time. Honey does not actually go bad. And the reason why that is that you can always count on the fact that honey will never go bad because there's actually not a lot of water with it. So it's a pure substance. So because where there's not a lot of water molecules in it, it doesn't leave a chance for it to go bad. Pineapples actually grow in the ground, not on trees. Just like coconuts are grown on trees, pineapples actually grow from the ground. In the 14th century, chocolate was actually used as a form of currency. So that's pretty interesting. And the reason why they were used as currency is because at that time it was a commodity that was felt that it was very high end. So they used chocolate as a form of currency because it was more exact. 8. When you shuck oysters, they're raw. They're still alive. Because technically, if your oysters were not alive when you shuck them, you could get actually very sick because a dead oyster actually carries a lot of nasty microorganisms that are very bad bacteria for your system, which will actually make you really, really sick. Ketchup was once used as a medicine, which is an ironic thing because ketchup is mostly tomatoes, water, vinegar, salt. But there's lots of things over the years that have been interesting concoctions of medical variety. I know because I dabble in a little bit in apothecary. The Hawaiian pizza was actually made by a Canadian. Go Canada. Here's another interesting one for you. So the original recipe for eggnog was actually created by George Washington, but majority of the recipe had to do with booze. So you can never really find out the exact measurements of what he used to make eggnog, but the original concoction and the original makeup of it came from George Washington. So here's another interesting fact because I never even knew this one. But green peppers, yellow peppers, and red peppers are actually all the same vegetable. They're just in different stages of the life cycle of that pepper. So green is like the beginning stages, yellow is like the mid stages, and red is when it's like fully ripened. So you're literally getting the exact same pepper no matter if it's red, yellow, or green. double stuffed Oreos are not actually double the stuff. It was actually mathematically figured out, and it's like literally point decimal of the point. There's not actually double the stuffing within the double stuffed Oreos. Rhubarb leaves are actually poisonous in large quantities. 15. Allspice is actually a fruit, and you have to pick it from a tree before it gets dried out and ground. It might taste like, nutmeg and cinnamon and all of those type of spices, but it's not actually a whole bunch of spices mixed together. Allspice itself is actually a type of fruit. Asparagus actually grows up and out of the ground, almost like a shoot. Loofahs, aka shower scrubbers, are actually made from a type of gourd. They're called sponge gourds. So those are those ones that you see in a grocery store or a beauty store or any place that you can go to buy beauty products. And they almost are about this long. And if you turn them on the side, it almost looks like they got 3 holes in them. And it kind of reminds me of a sea cucumber in a sense, but it's not. But that's actually made from a sponge gourd. Not actually like a sea cucumber. Mountain Dew, ironically enough, is actually mostly made of concentrated orange juice. Now, this one I found pretty nasty, so, take it into consideration. And disclaimer, I got these facts from doing my research, but don't quote me on the legitimately of it. I just thought they were cute facts that it'd be interesting for everybody to see. So, when you eat figs, which is, I think they're like a type of fruit, technically you're also eating wasps, because it actually takes a female wasp to pollinate a fig. The female loses their wings when they pollinate the fig, but because where they lost their wings, they can't get out of the fig, so then the wasp ends up dying inside the fig. So yeah, you're actually eating a wasp when you're eating a fig as well. Chimichanga, that type of pastry dessert, actually means thingamajig. Scientists have turned peanut butter into diamonds or used peanut butter to create diamonds. Tomatoes, this is your 22nd key point if you've been following along. Tomatoes are actually not native to Italy. And the last one I have before a random fact that I have is potatoes are actually 80% water. If you were to sit there and shred a potato all up and push it and strain all the juices out of it and stuff like that, you'll find out very quickly that the potato is literally 80% water. So like us, who are 75% water, potato is 80% water. So the other interesting fact, that this is my plus one that I don't know how many of you actually know, but I thought was pretty interesting, and I don't understand how. As a mom with 3, apparently a single box of Kraft Dinner is meant for 3 full servings for an adult. I don't know about you, but usually when I do up a box of Kraft Dinner, usually I have a box to myself. So how it can feed 3 adults with 1 box, I don't know. Leave a comment in the box below and tell me if you eat a whole box of Kraft Dinner to yourself too, because that's just one of those things that we grew up on. Yeah, so I figured I would try to do a positive type video this week and give you 20 plus weird food facts that I thought were pretty interesting. You can definitely double check this information all online, just look up the fact. But yeah, no, I thought they were all pretty cool and interesting. So let me know what you thought, or what point you thought was either interesting or weird, or you didn't know and it kind of mind blown you. Yeah, so that's everything for this video for this week. Love yous. Bye.